Okay, spicy ladies, let's get straight into it. Picture this. You're standing smack in the middle of a crazy busy street. Cars blaring horns, people yelling, everyone rushing around trying to be seen. Absolute chaos, right? And then you just close your eyes, take one deep breath, and strike a match. In all that madness, that little flame, that quiet confidence, that's what actually catches the eye. That's what makes heads turn. That's what men feel. See, here's the thing they don't tell you. A man doesn't remember a woman by what she says. He remembers her by what he couldn't forget after she walked away. Let that sink in for a second. Because somewhere along the line, a lot of us got sold this lie that to grab his attention, to keep him hooked, to make him crave you, you gotta perform. Be louder, look sexier, act sweeter, chase him, prove yourself, convince him. But what if I told you the women who leave the deepest marks? They aren't chasing anything. They're not acting from pressure or fear. They move with this calm presence. If you ever felt like you were doing everything right, pour your energy out, but just not getting that energy back, listen close. This could change how you see the whole game. Carl Jung hit the nail on the head. The unconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in symbols. And you were never meant to be just another ping in his inbox. You were meant to be a feeling he can't quite explain. You don't need to become someone new, to be unforgettable. You just need to stop hiding the part of you that already is. Men don't fall for logic. They don't sit there thinking, she replied in 10 minutes flat and used 2 heart emojis. Guess I'm hers forever. No way. They fall for feeling, for a moment, for a presence. They fall for how you walk into a room. Slow, calm, like you're not trying to get anything from him. And then you say something that doesn't just land in his ears. It hits him deep in the chest. You want to be the one he thinks about brushing his teeth, at the gym, in the middle of some boring meeting. Then stop trying to impress him. Start learning how to leave something with him. Something he can't shake off. Because this isn't about being liked. It's about being remembered. It's not about changing your dress, your hair, your laugh. It's about knowing how to use your words like they carry warmth. Like a soft fire. Quiet, but impossible to ignore. Today, we're not talking cute messages or teasing tricks. We're going deeper. When you understand how to speak emotional memory, when you learn how to use tone, timing, and presence, you stop chasing attention. You start carrying presence. And no, this isn't manipulation. This is awareness. This is emotional magnetism. This is how women throughout history became unforgettable, not by pushing, but by simply being undeniable. So stay close, because in the next few minutes, you're going to hear 3 powerful lines, not to trap him, but to awaken something in him, to make him feel like you weren't just a woman he talked to. You were a moment that lingers in his chest days later. Breathe in, sit tall, let this sink in. Here's what most people don't talk about. A man might forget the sound of your voice. He might forget what dress you wore or what song was playing, but he will never forget how he felt around you. That's the first truth. He doesn't fall for how you look. He falls for how you made him feel when he was near you. You're not competing with the most beautiful woman. You're standing out by being the one who left a deep feeling behind. Ever hear a song that wasn't loud, didn't have a massive beat, but hours later, it's still playing in your head? That's what emotional resonance does. It doesn't demand your attention. It claims it quietly. Most women are trying to be the loud song. The fast one, full of hooks, flashy. More replies, longer texts, prettier angles. But louder doesn't mean deeper. And louder gets forgotten. That's why so many women give and end up confused. Why wasn't I enough? Because you were speaking in logic. But he was feeling an emotion. And emotion doesn't respond to proof. It responds to presence. Jung said again, the unconscious speaks an emotion, an image. So when you speak from nervousness, he doesn't hear your words. He feels attention. When you speak from trust, he feels grounded. When you speak from need, he senses pressure. But when you speak from presence, he feels safe, curious, drawn in. Right now, if you're still watching, I hope this video can help you. Your comments motivate me so much. so I can make more videos which you like. So hit that subscribe button and leave me message. Let's continue. Ever meet someone and walk away thinking, I can't explain it, but there was just something about them? That something wasn't their looks, wasn't how clever they were. It was their emotional frequency. So ask yourself, are your words filled with pressure or calm? Are you trying to connect or trying to convince? Are you full and open or secretly waiting to be chosen? Because men don't remember the women who beg to be understood. They remember the women who don't explain everything, who let the space between the words speak for them. They remember the ones who let silence feel powerful, who let mystery do the talking. Denzel Washington dropped some wisdom. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Let's flip that for attraction. Noise is a greater threat to connection than silence. Fireworks might catch the eye, but real fire, it stays warm even after you walk away. So, from now on, stop trying to be heard. Start letting yourself be felt. Don't fill the silence. Hold it. Don't push your value. Embody it. Don't explain your worth. Stand in it. If you're wondering, okay, what do I actually say to leave that kind of mark? Listen close. This isn't about impressing him. It's about stirring something deeper. Here's one phrase. It doesn't flatter. It frames. It doesn't beg. It plants. And when you say it at the right time, in the right tone, it stays with him long after the words are gone. You and me, that could be dangerous. Say it with me. Soft, certain. You and me, that could be dangerous. Now, let that sit in your body. That's not a pickup line. That's not bait. That's a suggestion. A cinematic one. It hints at something exciting. Something slightly risky. Something just outside the usual lines. When you say you and me, you're not begging for his attention. You're offering him a vision. A little glimpse into a world where you and him together might just be too much in the best way. And here's what makes it powerful. You don't say it with need. You say it with play. You say it right in the middle of talking about something totally ordinary, music, food, travel, and then you drop it like it almost slipped out. You don't follow it with an explanation. You pause. You smile. You leave space for it to echo. That silence after, that's where the power lives. Wondering if that seems too bold? Here's the real truth. Bold only feels wrong when it's desperate. But when it's playful, relaxed, like you genuinely believe it, it's not bold. It's irresistible. Men don't chase the women who scream their interest. They chase the ones who suggest something deeper, then walk away before he can fully grasp it. It's not what you said. It's what he saw in his mind when you said it. Now, let's unlock another line. This one doesn't push. It lingers. It turns you into a mirror he can't stop looking into. Say this gently, like you almost didn't mean to let it slip out. You have a way of distracting me, and you don't even realize it. That one, it's not loud. It's not even direct, but it makes him think. It stirs him. It sends him replaying moments wondering, what did I do that got to her? Why does this work? Because it's beautifully unclear. You didn't say, I like you. You said, you affect me, but I'm not going to tell you how. That unspoken mystery, that fog, that's what hooks a man deeper than any compliment ever could. Think about a foggy mirror after a hot shower. He can almost see the reflection clearly, but not quite. That makes him lean in closer. That makes him curious. That's what pulls him back. Because the moment he starts wondering about you, you're already living in his thoughts. Clarity is nice, but mystery? Mystery is unforgettable. So don't be the explanation. Be the spark. Be the mirror. Be the scene he replays in his head. The silence he remembers more than all the noise. Show him your presence already affected him, and you're just letting him feel it. Deliver it softly, maybe with a little half smile, right after a shared laugh, like it just slipped out naturally. Then, let the silence take over. Don't explain it. Don't wait for a response. Just leave it and walk away. Because when a woman speaks in feeling, not proof, when she reflects his energy instead of trying to prove her own, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she said too much, but because she knew the exact words that made him feel like he was the only man who could stir her without even trying. This brings us to the secret weapon, timing. Because you could have the perfect line said with the perfect tone, but if it lands the wrong moment, it loses all its power. Let that sink in deep. Attraction has a rhythm. You have to know what time it is. The right phrase at the wrong time instantly becomes the wrong phrase. Imagine you're in a pitch black room, total silence. You strike a match, one small flame. If you light it too early, while everyone's eyes are still wide and unadjusted, nobody really sees it. The flame's wasted. But if you wait just long enough for eyes to adjust to the dark, then that single, tiny flame lights up the whole space. That's what timing does. Here's the harsh reality. Most women speak out of discomfort. They fill the quiet. They send messages too quickly. They try to drop deep, meaningful lines during low-energy moments, when he's distracted or when she's feeling anxious, trying to pull him back. But the real skill isn't just knowing what to say. It's knowing exactly when to say it. You never drop a line like, "You and me, that could be dangerous," while you're just sitting across from each other in awkward silence with zero vibe. You don't say, "You have a way of distracting me," after a dry, boring text exchange. You wait. You wait for the natural flow, when there's energy crackling, when you both genuinely laugh, when your eyes lock for a beat too long, when you're sharing a space that feels charged. That's your moment. That's when you strike the match. Jung nailed it. Mystery wakes up the unconscious mind. Why? Because it pulls at it. It makes us wonder. It raises questions we need to answer. And nothing is more mysterious than a woman who waits, who feels the mood shift, who understands the moment perfectly, and drops her words like heat instead of just out of habit or nervousness. Picture this. You're mid-conversation. The mood is light, buzzing. He's laughing. You lean in a little closer. He's telling a story, and there's that pause, that little spark where his eyes meet yours and hold. That's the moment. That's when you lean in just a fraction and say softly, almost conspiratorially, "You and me, that could be dangerous." And then you say nothing else. No over-explaining. No nervous giggle. Just silence. Just stillness. Let the words hang there, thick in the air between you. That silence isn't awkward. It's desire. And desire breeds intention. But if you throw these lines out when you're nervous, when he feels distant, when you're overthinking it, they won't land. Because it's not just a line that's magic. It's the moment that is. It's not about trying to seduce every single second. It's about catching that 1 second that's already overflowing with chemistry and speaking into it like it's the most natural, obvious thing in the world. So, don't rush. Don't try too hard. Treat the whole connection like a dance. Learn when to hold back, when to step forward lightly. Because true emotional skill isn't just about your words. It's about sensing when he's ready to really feel them. Now we're going deeper. Because it's not just about what he hears. It's about what's behind your words. This is where your true power lives. Get this right, and your voice won't just speak. It'll carve a lasting memory. Here's the raw truth. What you say is noise. What you genuinely mean, radiating from your core, that's music. Most women speak in noise. The rare ones, they speak in pure, undeniable energy. The hard pill to swallow? Men don't remember long talks. They remember quick flashes. That feeling of something left deliciously unsaid. That pause that made their heart skip a beat. That one line that wasn't about facts or logic. It was pure, unfiltered feeling. Because in attraction, what hums under the surface? That's everything. So many women overtalk. They explain, repeat, adjust, and anxiously ask, "Did that make sense?" But a woman with true emotional pull, she doesn't explain her mood. She lives in it. She knows real attraction isn't about what's said aloud. It's about what's felt in the quiet spaces underneath. And that brings us to a line that's not just emotional. It creates a whole, vivid image. Say this slowly, letting each word land with weight. If I kissed you right now, I know you wouldn't be able to stop me. Pause. Feel that? That line isn't a question. It's not a request. It's a bold promise. A soft, undeniable challenge. This works because it flips the script on the usual dynamic. You're not asking him to kiss you. You're not begging for his attention. You're simply stating what would happen if you chose to make the move. And you're saying it with a confidence that makes it feel inevitable. Crucial warning. This line only lands if it comes from unshakable self-belief. If your voice wavers, if your eyes dart away, if you immediately search his face for a reaction, it crumbles. It only works when delivered from deep, calm certainty. Your voice, soft but steady, maybe a hint of playful warmth, but fundamentally calm. Your eyes, steady, not harsh, hold his gaze just long enough for the weight to settle. Say it like it just slipped out, but you meant every single syllable. Jung understood this power. True power lives in mystery. The unconscious doesn't react to logic. It reacts to symbols, to images, to what feels viscerally possible. This line creates exactly that. It's not about securing a kiss in that moment. It's about planting the thought, about letting that electrifying idea take root in his mind. You don't follow it up with nervous chatter. You don't giggle or nervously add, "Just kidding." You say it, and then you let the silence live. That charged stillness, that's where the real attraction ignites. That's where he's suspended between imagination and raw desire. What he remembers days later isn't the hypothetical kiss. It's the way you said it, the image you painted, the unshakable energy you carried, like it was simple, undeniable truth, not a game. So, forget the idea that saying more makes you more interesting. It doesn't. Say less, but say it's soaked in meaning. Don't try to impress him with facts or stories. Move him with emotion. And this leads us to your most potent asset. It's not your clever lines. It's your energy, the way you occupy space before you even utter a word. Because the woman who brings the right energy, she doesn't talk just to be heard. She speaks to leave a permanent mark. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. The women who linger in men's hearts, they don't raise their voices. They raise the feeling in the room. And that changes everything. We're drowning in noise. Opinions, notifications, endless chatter. And in that chaotic sea, the woman who doesn't compete with the noise, but effortlessly silences it just by being fully present, she is unforgettable. Because true strength doesn't perform. It relaxes. It owns space without strain. It speaks clearly without ever needing to yell. That emotional presence. Remember Denzel's wisdom. Still water shows a clearer reflection than rushing water. Hold on to that image. Calm, still, deeply grounded. That's the kind of energy that resonates deep within a man. It's not just attraction. It's recognition. That gut sense of, she's different. Here's the secret most women aren't told. Your energy starts talking long before your voice does. So, how do you enter a space? With quick, unsure steps, rush small talk and darting eyes? Or with slow, deliberate movements and a quiet calm that naturally draws attention? Because authentic feminine power doesn't demand the spotlight. It draws it by being utterly, completely present. Jung called this emotional mastery. Knowing how to guide your emotions, not spill them everywhere. This means don't fidget. Don't talk fast just to kill the silence. Don't over-explain. Stand or sit in a way that silently declares, I am utterly comfortable being exactly who I am. Speak a touch slower. Let your voice settle just a fraction lower. Not to sound monotone, but to sound surer. Give every word room to breathe. Let the silence between your sentences feel meaningful, not awkward. When you do this, your presence becomes a whole vibe, far beyond just your looks. Men might not articulate it, but they feel it deeply, and that feeling, it sticks. They've encountered her, the woman who walks in and doesn't rush to fill the air. She listens with her whole being, and when she does speak, the energy shifts, not because her words are poetry, but because her delivery is calm, focused, and lands with intention, not flashy, just profoundly present. And that's not an act. That's confidence. That's a woman who knows she doesn't need to copy anyone else. She is the original, because men aren't pulled in by noise. They're pulled in by power. And nothing is more powerfully magnetic than a woman who speaks from a place of deep peace, not frantic panic. So next time you enter a room, don't shrink. Don't scramble to prove anything. Don't rush. Just breathe. Take your time and speak like your words were crafted to shape the very moment they land in. All right, let's land this. Because we need to talk about the biggest mistake women make when they start wielding this kind of power. Miss this, and everything else loses its edge. Here it is. A woman using strength rooted in insecurity doesn't look strong. She looks strained. Let that hit you. This is where the magic either ignites or fizzles out. By now, you've got the tools, presence, timing, the weight behind your words. You've seen the power in lines like, "You and me, that could be dangerous," or "If I kiss you right now, I know you wouldn't be able to stop me." But here's the critical warning. If you're deploying these weapons from a place of doubt, fear, or the need for validation, they won't land. They'll clatter to the floor. Denzel put it bluntly and perfectly. A strong line said, "With a weak voice becomes weak." And he's dead right. Energy always tells the truth. Your unconscious signals scream louder than your carefully chosen words ever could. If your core is whispering, "Do they like me? Am I enough? Will this work?" That vibration bleeds through. It turns certainty into a question. It turns presence into performance. It turns fire into flicker. Think about it. You can say, "I know you wouldn't be able to stop me," with perfect diction. But if your chest is tight, your breath shallow, your eyes searching as for approval the second the words leave your mouth, he doesn't hear the promise. He feels the plea. He senses the gap between the bold words and the shaky ground they're built on. The line becomes hollow. The mystery evaporates. The power leaks out. True power isn't an act. It's a state. It's not something you do to him. It's something you are, radiating outwards. A spicy lady doesn't try to be magnetic. She is magnetic because she's rooted in her own worth. She trusts her energy. She speaks from a deep well of self-possession, not from an empty cup begging to be filled. Her calm isn't forced. It's earned. It comes from knowing deep in her bones that she is fundamentally undeniable, regardless of his reaction. This is the difference between performing confidence and embodying it. Performing is exhausting. It's constantly checking the mirror of his eyes. Embodying it, it's effortless. It's breathing easy. It's standing firm in your own skin, your own value, your own knowing. When you embody it, your voice naturally finds that lower, steadier register. Your eyes hold as without aggression or need. Your movements slow down because you're not rushing to prove anything. You occupy space instead of apologizing for taking it up. Jung understood this core truth. What you resist persists, but what you accept and integrate transforms you. Resisting your insecurity, pretending it's not there, just makes it louder. Accepting your worth, integrating it into your being, that's the transformation. That's where the real spice comes from. So, how do you build this foundation before you ever open your mouth? 1. Own your inner state before you walk into a room, before you send text, before you speak. Check in. Is your chest tight? Are you breathing shallowly? Are you mentally rehearsing outcomes? Breathe deep into your belly. Drop your shoulders. Feel your feet on the ground. Anchor yourself in the physical sensation of being here now, not in the future story of what might happen. 2. Silence the begging voice, that voice whispering, "Do they like me?" Starve it. Replace it with asterisk. "Do I like me right now? Am I comfortable in my own energy?" Asterisk your primary relationship is with yourself. Nurture that. His reaction becomes secondary data, not your lifeblood. 3. Focus on feeling, not controlling. You can't control his response. You can control your own presence. Shift your focus from "how do I make him feel X?" to asterisk, "how do I want to feel in this moment?" Grounded, playful, curious. Asterisk embody that feeling first. Your energy will naturally pull the interaction towards it. 4. Let your body lead. Your physiology dictates your psychology. Stand tall. Open your posture. Slow your movements. Speak deliberately. These aren't tricks. They're signals to your own nervous system. We are safe. We are strong. We are here. Your calm body cultivates a calm mind, which radiates genuine presence. When you speak from this place, rooted, full, assured, everything changes. The line, "You have a way of distracting me," isn't a fishing hook. It's a playful observation from a woman who's amused and intrigued, not needy. The silence after you and me that could be dangerous isn't anxious. It's potent, charged with possibilities she knows exists. The challenge, and I know you wouldn't be able to stop me, isn't a dare seeking validation. It's a quiet statement of fact from a woman who knows her own power. This is the ultimate shift. From trying to extract his desire through clever words and tactics to embodying a presence so inherently desirable, the words become mere echoes of the energy you already radiate. You stop using presence. You become presence. You stop performing the spicy lady. You are her. Men don't just fall for the words. They fall for the woman behind them. The one whose energy is unshakable, whose calm is deep, whose belief in her own worth is absolute. That's the woman who walks away and leaves him remembering not just what she said, but who she was when she said it. That's the woman who becomes unforgettable. That's the woman whose quiet fire warms him long after the conversation ends. So cultivate the ground within first. Let your power rise from that deep, still well. Then and only then let your words flow not as pleas, but as proof of the undeniable force you already are. Your presence isn't just a tool. It's your signature. Make it one he can't forget.